Hi guys, this is the first PvP game I'll be covering today, and this is a skirmish game on Cold Strike. As you can see here, my usual things when I do is I look at the team list. Okay, we have an STI, ST1, which is a tank destroyer. They have a T90A. The T90A kind of beats out the ST1. We have a VBL, they have a VBL. My VBL is from Hype, so he's going to be one of the better players, so he's going to cancel out that VBL. I'm in a T80U. That ZBL over there, the T80U cancels out the ZBL, and we have a T90 which is inferior to the T80U. So our team here has an advantage in the tier 7s, but they have a tier 8 which is better than our tier 7s. So I'm the T80U, which is one of the faster tanks in the game. It has relatively good frontal armor and a good gun, but has very poor side armor. So I'm going to do the normal thing, which unlike that T90, I'm going to do a holding battle on the middle. I've signaled where I want to go, and this VBL is going to stay in the center section of this map for me, and he's going to spot. He's likely going to. He has an extremely high clip. I missed that T90, which is something I didn't want to do, but he took some falling damage, I think. So I make a slight misplay here. I think I'm going over there, but then I realise the VBL is coming over here. The VBL is my ace card in this game. If I protect this guy and help him, we are golden. As you can see here, he's already laying down a lot of pain on that VBL, but he got fired on. That makes him a one-shot. So I've got to stay here, and I've got to help him out. As you can see here, doing this was the right play, so I can now ambush this T80U and get a good shot into him. See? One hit already, 629. If he does a one-on-one with me, I have an advantage versus him. I'm still covering the VBL over there. I'm smoke up as well. I wasn't sure if his smoke covered him, but I helped him anyway. And this T80U is making a big mistake because he kept going for that VBL. He's going a little bit too fast for his own good. He misses.
Identify.
I plug him in again. I back up to save myself from the ZBL, and I get enough aggro on that T80U that my VBL can kill him. Aside from now, I'm going to peek out here. At this point we've won basically. The VBL is going to die, the ZBL is a piece of shit, and the T90 has just sat around in the cap circle, which means he can't do anything. So that little play here with me and the VBL basically saved the game. If he had died, I'm not sure. I would have been able to take out the T80U, but that T80U's fixation on the ZBL and that tunnel division really killed him and basically threw the game for his team. The ZBL should have backed him up, but if that T80U had either retreated or gone down in a hold down position for me, which would have forced me to go for him, the ZBL would have gotten flanking shots. And you can see here I also distract this T90. I hope to get some tracking shots on him to kill him, but oh well, it happened. So this game was basically carried by me and the VBL. Our other two teammates did, I think it's about 1500 damage together or something. We'll have a look at the in-game stats for that. Okay, let's have a look. See here, Steel Wings, that Zoomis did an amazing game. I did 3,242, no spotting, no enemies destroyed. Half health to the T80U and most of the health to the ZBL there. The VBL did 800 damage more than me, so he pretty much wiped out the majority of hit points on the T80U. When I got him on side, he killed the T90 and T80U, so they must have killed the T90 and the ZBL. As you can see here, the T80U did no damage. His fixation killed him. The ZBL ran away. The VBL was badly outmatched, and the T90A basically suicide rushed. The T90A and the T80U should have kept together. It was something that me and the T90 did not do because the T90 went towards the bottom, which is one of the worst places to go on that map. But otherwise, like I said, me and this VBL basically won the game. And that's it for the first PvP game. Hey, so this is going to be the second video, and this was the game that I honestly thought we were going to lose. Right here, I have a BMD2 on the other game, we cancel each other out. We have a warrior, the Abrams cancels out the warrior, and we have an RDF which has nice penetration, but the VFM is able to outdamage it, and also has better heat shells. So my game plan for this game was for all of us to hopefully stick together, or to do crossfires. I knew that the MBTs in this map usually go towards E5, D5, and they head then either top or bottom, depending on which side they're from. AFVs usually flank around A9 or J9, which is a misplay, given that they are often too far away to actually influence in the game. But most of the time, AFVs often go towards the D7 corner down. So I'm going to go to the hill and I'm going to spot them and I'm going to see where they are. And I'm telling my team that the Abrams and the BMD2 are the priority targets. The BMD2 has the alpha damage, something like 1600 to 1800 with the missiles, and has a decent autocannon, and can outspot all of us. And the Abrams, of course, well, it's an MBT, and it's going to be monstrous in this matchup because not many of us can actually pen it frontally. So right here, I go up here, I spot them, and I'm like, okay, we need to move. They're right here. I bump into here. And right now, I think I probably should have died if they had actually rushed me. I thought that the warrior was actually going to engage them, which would have meant immediate destruction because none of us are in a space to help them. You see, right now we're spaced out and the enemy team is together. At this moment, all the enemy team has to do is just to pick us off one by one. As you can see now, I'm in a firing position. My first hit misses. I think this is because I'm playing on the I'm playing in America, so you might see my missile aim be a little bit wonky because of the delay. But right now, that Abrams is quite screwed. I'm trying to spot what the rest of them are. 8 seconds. Okay, let's wait for it.
Identify target.
You can see kill on the BMD2. VFM over there, miss, fucking delay. I was hoping to go for the VFM. As you can see, there's a slight replay bug involved, so I'm just giving him suppressing fire. Okay, he's moved down. The Abrams, their team should have moved up to support him, but they didn't, and now that Abrams is toast. He may have a lot of hit points, but a warrior can do 500 and has a relatively fast reload, and the BMD2 of course has that massive alpha strike. So first missile, engine fire. I aim right for the engine, and he's dead. As you can see, me and the warrior played relatively well together, while the enemy team started out together, but they then split off, and then they died. I think that the pivotal moment of that game was the destruction of the BMD2. As you can see, the missile controls are a bit flinky today. But otherwise, this has a relatively decent auto cannon. He's dead. So, we kept ourselves flexible and fast, and of course furious as well, while the enemy team kind of pondered around. And if you're playing an AFV, you need to be constantly moving. If not, if you've got a really good firing position or spotting position, okay, that's fine. But most of the time, moving is what keeps you defended from things. As you can see, that Abrams bounced on me. Let's have a look at the post-game stats as well, which is there. As you can see, I killed the entire enemy team by myself. The warrior did a good amount of damage, and so did the RAF. The RDF got himself into a good supporting position, so we did about 2,000. The warrior was a good tank, but I did most of the legwork here. As you can see here, that BMD2 immediately regretted his decision. The Abrams did 1 shot of damage, and the VFM did about 2 to 3, maybe. The lesson of that game is being together is good. It helps you funnel yourselves in and trap the enemy, but also crossfires are important. As you can see there, once we got them in a crossfire, they were toast. The Abrams lost hit points. The BMD2 was immediately destroyed. The VFM lost half his HP and had to retreat, leaving only the Abrams on his own in a basically unwinnable position at that point. We kept ourselves in a crossfire, we kept ourselves fast, we kept ourselves flexible, we were able to adapt to the situation, while the enemy team did not. And that usually sets apart a PvP player who knows what they're doing, or is at least able to react to things, while those who just kind of just sit there going, well, what's going on? You can see what I mean now. So, this one's going to be a live recording. It's a bit awkward because I'm in a T-62M, which isn't exactly a very strong tank. The enemy has chieftains, and this may have been a misplay by me because I'm in a missile-throwing tank. And my ping's a little bit shifty right now. And they have chieftains, so if the chieftains are firing Hesh, I'm going to die a horrible screaming death. But if they're not, I should be able to overpower them. This thing has tier 6 missiles, which is 600mm a pen, which is amazing. The turret is kind of armoured, but the frontal hull is, well, it isn't. This isn't a very resistant tank. It's a fun little meme mobile, and I have no idea where my objects are going. But I think if I manage to get myself in a position where I can use my turret, I might be able to overpower the chieftains. I'm not sure. We have a pair of 279s, so as long as the chieftains can't... Oh, and I'm being reported for bot using. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. As you can see here, I'm going to get to use missile vehicles to the fullest, which is right there. Ow. Can you pen me? I don't know, it's time to find out maybe. Oh, there's a Zalo. Boop. And an advantage of having these 115mm missiles is that they can... They are very agile. Ow. They're shooting me. It hurts. Okay, maybe that's not such a good idea. Ow. Oh god. Hi Xylo. The main thing for me to do is to shoot at things. They are shooting at me, but as you can see down here, I'm creating a distraction. Distractions are good. Boop. Distractions are always fun. So no. Okay, we're gonna have to go down now and support the object. I carry a stock of missiles on these things. It has AP rounds, but they're like tier 2. So, I can only really penetrate things from the side. This thing does fail in close combat simply because of the... No, I can't. Okay, right. So, this may be a little bit dangerous, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to go all the way down here. Why is this guy shooting at him? I don't know. Fuck, oh, there's a Xylo. So the Xylo, thank you. Get out of town, Xylo. Nobody likes you. Right, and an advantage of having these missiles is that I can very much dominate these guys, as long as I'm 60 doesn't come over here. Anyway, hello, 60, how are you? Okay, no, that's an ERA here. Right, okay. Chieftain is still down. He doesn't notice the memes. Goodbye, Chieftain. And that 279 is overpowered the M60. I'm pretty sure that at this point, it was because that I was such a huge distraction for the enemy team. That we probably won that. As you see, that 279 moved up the flank, basically unmolested, and yeah. I don't know why they didn't kill me at the start. I think the applique plates were probably confusing them a bit, or maybe they just thought they had bigger distractions. But when I started doing damage, that's when they started firing at me. I took the heat off that 279. And as you can see, he had a relatively good game. But I got the most XP and everything because, to be honest, I feel like I did the lion's share of the work there, distracting the enemy. I allowed that 279 to... I gave him an opportunity and he took it. The enemy team over there didn't do much. I don't think having another chieftain would have helped them, since they were just sitting on the ridgeline. They were being very passive or were being aggressive. We kind of caught them in like a fang and encircled and fucked them. The M60 over there did a good job. The M60 is actually really strong against the T62M because the T62M uses missiles and he has ERA. The Chieftain can also, pretty much every single MBT at Tier 4 can pretty much kill the T62M, but the T62M has some very good flexibility with its missiles there. As you can see, if I was doing that play when I was, if I wasn't holding out and I wasn't using the ridge, if I had like gone over, they would have killed me instantly. And that's like, the real part is knowing your vehicle's strengths and like using them to the max. Anyway, that's it for now.